All right, man.
Boy. I'm thinking that's a whole. I'm thinking you want your real tab, like it's a brand bill. I'm like, nah, why ain't gonna show me? Why he wouldn't just show me that shit? Like, nah.
Why he wouldn't just show me that shit?
Damn. Oh, you hear me asking? I'm like, that's some new shit. Gotta be. That shit I ain't never seen before. I thought it was a bitch or something, like something, like, nah. That's that boy. You missed that boy. That's that boy. Look, Robin. All red Robin is harder than red and green Robin. Bro, this shit gonna spill. I know it.
Like,
Like,
better be there. Clip it into bitch. Oh my fucking god, dude!
you had wait. Why you say that?
Like fuck, like fucking fuck. That shit fuck.
Yeah, I that's how I'm feeling.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, I gotta lay my whole body on the pillow.
Fuck. Every time. Every time.
Every time. That's you. Every time. Every time. Every time.
You know what it was.
Every time. Every time. One. Every time. Every time. What a one. Shopping? Or no?
It's the real shit. It's something sliding in the I did not read that shit, but this is really it. Can't go up. What? It's different because the nigga that got whooped was like, he really like that. He's a good guy. He's a good fucking guy.
Damn, me and Mark done hit about 4 days in this bitch.
You remember this shit?
Nap.
Pussy ass nuts, man. This shit pussy.
Bitch, you know, if you ain't know that fucking, if you ain't listen to that fucking song, then
Oh my god. What's about
what's up, bro? Now, you gotta do it again. Hope you get it right. I hope you get it right. But we're going to Walmart.
At least the good part about it, like, we know exactly where we're going. It's gonna be early, like, yeah.
I'm about to make a list.
Okay.
I'm gonna take care of that. That's my task.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a list. I know it's not gonna be long.
Let you know, I can't go.
I'm thinking shepherd's pie shit and like some food.
Let me make that shit real quick. I got the Dennis and Mike, yo. Like that, yo. Well, let me show you that shit too. That's why I'll show you.
Bro, you thinking, bro? Don't let me go there. Go there.
Bro, I'm not paid. It's not a good to me. That's simple as that.
I'm not eight. That's not a good deal.
Shit. So this is how that shit is.
I can't see that. I look on it. I can't see right there. I got it like, hold on. I got like one angle.
He's dead. Infected.
Like, Oh, you,
Oh,
He got my thing. He said, yep. This,
oh my
yep.
god.
I forgot you did.
I just said it there. He said, he grabbed it. He put that. I put another one back. He got another one down. Like this is one thing.
Yeah.
Game back.
Real nigga. I think I'm gonna make that.
That's my style. Oh yeah, really doesn't say. But I know that's my style already.
Yeah, that shit say. That shit was that's my money. Like I work for them. That's my money.
Yeah, that's all. And I don't.
Yeah.
Half of the fucking cash. That's all. Fuck with you, bro. It's all you know. Fuck you, nigga. So, nigga, I know it's
Oh, not this way, not this way, not this way.
What's today? 21st? Oh, and you man, like, so you gotta get paid Friday. What is that? Oh! I sort of beat like 3, bro. Like it's pretty shit, but. I'll take it.
Yes.
I said too much.
Don't come any closer!
Yeah, I'm finna say, yeah,
Sir.
Catch up, boys. Catch up, pussy.
and y'all gotta be straight, boy. I'm about to get into the right
Insane, already insane. Why the fuck I want to the movies at 2 a.m. And it's niggas. I pull up, I walk in, it's me and two old white folks. I said,
Grace.
"It's gonna be straight." Them niggas gonna
Grace.
be straight. I said, okay, cool. Y'all take y'all time.
Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
By the time I get
My office.
I'll finish all of that.
Oh, coming.
I said, okay, two people get out the car. Snow bun, black people. And you already know which one came.
If this is about the report you asked for yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days tops.
Put a hold on that for now.
Snow bun came.
We found another body.
I s-
One that exhibits the same pathology as the others we've been investigating.
Say it is.
Now I need a good technical analyst on this.
Okay.
So they appreciate it. Went back to the first picture. It's like,
I need your eyes on the crime
it was
scene.
like, she trying to talk to me, get in my head. I'm like,
The Renwood
she
Hotel.
trying to spit game. Some shit she trying to talk to me. I'm like,
Oh, fighting out here, fam.
I know that's where your mother was murdered.
Oh my god.
Alyssa died 8 years ago.
look at that shirt.
Perhaps it's time for you to
He introduced me.
face the past.
Told them niggas, told them.
Grace.
Fam, I'm trying to tell you.
What is this?
I don't get humble enough for that'd be nice.
I gotta listen to what you're saying. Like, no, finish that. Cause like, what? Like, keep going with the story. Finish the story. Cause this,
Cause like, man, cause I don't think I'm like, Shawty trying to push up on a nigga. Cause this the crazy thing. Like I said, remember the black females here too. Black female, I get the food. We all the food get done together. So we all damn near walking out at the same time. This black female hit this. You go, my king. Basically, she just hit that damn near here you go, my king type of door opening. I said,
oh my
shit,
god.
man.
Some girl called me Lord yesterday.
Oh my god.
Let me say thank you, Lord.
See, usually I can understand the sweetheart or baby because they'll hit you with one of them quick, and I'll be like,
I gotta give me that baby, that shit,
yeah,
yo.
because you got.
What's going
Cause you gotta know if they really you gotta know if they really going like if they trying to go or they just one of them southern hospitality motherfuckers. So yeah,
They
you
be
got
trying to
yeah.
They
Yeah.
be trying to
They ain't trying to go like fuck, bro. I'm talking.
But I'm telling you, just push up to the mall. Like I say, go to the mall on like a random ass day, maybe like your best bet. If you don't want to go around, go. If you don't go on the weekend, 'cause I will say niggas, you know the YNs out. YNs out Fridays and Saturdays. You already know what time.
Yeah.
It is. So the mall will be hot.
I'm about to go out there and catch the YNs. Them boys, and them boys finna walk past me. You fold the zombie, bro? You fold the zombie, bro? I see what's your number. Yeah, I was out there with you. Oh, shit. You fold the zombie, bro? Them niggas that smoke, fam. I go back to Florida, I still don't catch like the smoothest of you fold the zombie, bro? Like how Georgia niggas do it. These niggas got it on lock, bro. Niggas do not introduce gas like that. Like,
See, when I was working in Macon, I was working at Marco's in Macon. Anytime I go to a gas station, nigga pull up. Hey, bro, you trying to scab, bro? Damn, bro. I'm just at the gas station, bro. I'm just trying to get some gas. I'm at work.
Hey, man, get ready.
And then niggas will tip me. Niggas will literally, I'll open up the door. Here your food. Oh, I ain't got no bread. But hold on a second. Come back to the door. Freehand.
wow.
Damn near 3 hours. On me.
Might as well, right?
Might as well. Smoke that shit. I was like, I was like, okay, your gas straight. It ain't better than what I got, but it's straight. So,
Shit.
I'm like, niggas, yeah. Going around the other shit. Yeah,
Then how long we got?
Shit, I gotta go.
Right now?
That shit.
better go for a busy pull up. That's the one.
Nah, she gonna cut that.
Nah, busy pull up.
Yeah.
She gon'
No, that's fine. Just like.
Hey, bullshit. Tired.
I'm about to fuck around and dress up, man. Fuck. My socks. Oh, hell in the bed. Socks on the bed. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, not even on the floor. Oh, I took. Nigga, when I said I'm gonna take my pants off. Nigga,
shit.
pants and socks went off one motion. Under blanket. Just went to sleep. Like, that shit was done.
See, that shit up is.
I said, oh, I ain't getting no pussy. I said, oh, I ain't sucking nothing. Yeah. All right. Shit. Hey, fam. Hey, fam. Why somebody come in here bitch saying crazy how? First of all, their name is Ricky Ate My Booty.
Try.
This shit says, I know you're not used to having viewers, but you can look at the screen. Where's D?
Oh shit.
Somebody? Question mark.
Oh shit. Hey.
We about to go to work. Y'all about to watch this game, bro. And that's that. Better?
I just feel it. I just crazy.
Huh? We gone. She said to my Haiti.
Hey.
I said she like I know, right? Is your phone still broken?
Shit.
Hey D, is your phone still broken?
You trying to talk to
We out
She
now.
trying to talk to you, D?
We out now. We out now.
We out now.
Send that number.
We up now.
Send the digits.
Send Ricky Ate My Booty them digits. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's your call.
954-297-949. You gotta guess the last number.
Nah,
There you go. That boy ate that bitch. That boy real. Let me get your number. Yeah.
fuck no.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get that number.
Nah, he did it. He did it. Man, we gone, man. We out. All right, gotta go to work.
Yes.
Safety.
Stay close. They're coming.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
Stay away from that!
Here you go.
The Resident Evil franchise has a sprawling timeline that interweaves its complex narrative across 8 mainline games, a handful of spin-offs, and countless DLC expansions. But how does it all tie together? Well, largely it's pretty linear. What's not so straightforward is that the ever-evolving timeline takes in everything from corporate conspiracies and human cloning to the American president's daughter, and whatever the hell this thing is. From the convoluted creation of the Umbrella Corporation through to the gothic horror of Resident Evil Village, via the crowd-pleasing, boulder-punching antics of one Chris Redfield. Hey, my name's Adam, and this is the complete timeline of Resident Evil. Okay, chronologically speaking, our story kicks off with a good chunk of backstory for Resident Evil Village, the main story of which bookends this timeline right at the very end. In the early 20th century, the main villain of Resi Village, Mother Miranda, is living out her life peacefully in Eastern Europe with her daughter Eva until the Spanish flu pandemic whips through her community in 1919, killing all and sundry. Eva's death sends Miranda into a downward spiral, and she ventures off into a cave network beneath the village to seek out death. Ironically, instead of finding a quick death, she discovers a form of mold known as the Megamycete, a genome which gifts her with regenerative abilities. Armed with this newfound power and knowledge, Miranda seeks to use it to bring her daughter back to life. Miranda continues to experiment with the Megamycete genome over the next couple of decades, and she eventually creates the Cadu parasite, which will crop up again when we come back round to Resident Evil Village. Anyway, the year is now 1951 and a young British medical student has stumbled onto Miranda's research after getting lost on a hiking expedition. This young whippersnapper turns out to be one Oswald E. Spencer, who will prove to be very important on this timeline. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Spencer is impressed with Miranda's work, and it inspires him to undertake his own devious research into instigating the next level of human evolution. More on that very shortly. He even nabs a local symbol representing the sigil of the 4 houses of the area as inspiration for his iconic logo, a logo that also looks a lot like an umbrella. Speaking of umbrella, let's chart the origins of that despicable company. In 1962, Spencer commissioned architect George Trevor to design and build a certain mansion and research laboratory in the Arklay Mountains. Trevor finally finishes his mad masterpiece in 1967, and it's a labyrinthine structure full of locked doors that make no logical sense. And in order to hide the mansion's terrible secrets forever, Spencer, being the awful bastard that he is, invites the Trevor family to stay. And, well, they never leave. Across the swinging 60s, he joins forces with university pal James Marcus and eccentric millionaire Edward Ashford on an expedition to locate a legendary African flower known as the Stairway to the Sun. This flower is said to contain powerful properties, and this is confirmed when the trio extract the progenitor virus from it. This virus has the ability to genetically alter organisms, and they immediately transport it back to the USA. Our evil trio then established the Umbrella Corporation as a legitimate pharmaceuticals company, as a cover for their totally illegitimate viral research, and their ultimate goal of creating a race of superhumans. Or at least that's Spencer's ultimate goal. Ashford becomes increasingly frustrated with the other two, and he makes for Antarctica to set up his own research labs, which would later hold the Code Veronica project. Ashford never sees the Code Veronica project come to fruition though, as in July 1968, he's injected with the progenitor virus himself on the orders of all-round bad egg Spencer, and he swiftly dies. He was succeeded by his son Alexander, who takes control of the Antarctica Umbrella Lab in an effort to keep his father's work going, albeit with more of a focus on cloning. Back in the USA, Spencer and Marcus take control of Umbrella facilities in the Arklay Mountains, just outside of Raccoon City. Spencer continues his research into the progenitor virus in the lab under the newly constructed mansion, while Marcus is appointed as director of the newly founded Umbrella training facility. Spencer's plan is to create a race of superhumans dubbed Project Wesker, and this nefarious plan sees Umbrella kidnap a whole load of children to be loyal foot soldiers to Spencer's cause, and they are all brainwashed and injected with the progenitor virus. Sadly, most of them die, except for a certain Albert Wesker, who we'll come to be quite familiar with across this timeline. Meanwhile, in Antarctica, Alexander Ashford's Code Veronica project is finally complete. In 1971, Ashford creates 2 clones from his family DNA, Alfred and Alexia. Fast forward to January 1978, yep, the 70s were seemingly sparse for the Resi franchise, and Marcus is making a breakthrough with his research at the Umbrella training facility. By splicing the progenitor with leached DNA, he creates the T-virus, or at least a strain that doesn't immediately kill those exposed to it. It just turns them into hideously mutated creatures. Not sure which one of those is the better option, if I'm honest. His research is assisted by 2 students from the Umbrella training facility, Doctors William Birkin and Albert Wesker. But their work together does not last long, as at the end of the school year, the Umbrella training facility is closed down, and Birkin, Wesker, and the T-virus are all moved to Spencer's Arklay research labs. Suspicious of Spencer's motives, Marcus continues to stay behind with his work and experiments on anything and everything from mammals to reptiles. All of which will pop up as end-of-level bosses in Resident Evil 0.
Even superheroes can make bad decisions.
We're gonna drive, right, big guy?
Let's go!
Guys, wait for me! Hey!
Let's be flexible enough to call a safe and sober ride.
Make the real fantastic decision. Don't drink and drive.
The early 1980s are not a good time for the Ashford family. Remember Alexia? Well, she's grown up to become a 10-year-old child mastermind and is promptly appointed the senior researcher at Umbrella's Antarctica lab, much to the annoyance of 21-year-old Wesker. Keep up, Albert. After learning about their origin as clones, Alexia and her brother Alfred vow to hunt down and capture their father, which they succeed in doing in 1983. With Alexander in custody, Alexia uses him as a test subject for research into her new version of the T-virus, known as the T-Veronica virus. Surprise, surprise, the experiment turns him into a psychotic monster, later known as Nosferatu. Nope, not that one. Taking the failed experiment on the chin, Alexia uses the data she obtained on her father to inject herself with the T-Veronica virus, while she peacefully sleeps the effects off in a cryogenic chamber for 15 years. Don't worry, we'll come back to this mad child prodigy later on. Back in the Arclay labs, research on the virus, now headed up by William Birkin, has stalled. Umbrella have discovered that 10% of the population are naturally immune to the virus, and Birkin sets himself the morbid task of solving this unique problem. His answer comes in the form of a bioorganic weapon, or BOW for short, known as the Hunter, which is born through splicing reptilian and human DNA with the T-virus. Birkin's research and development continues across the 80s and culminates with the start of a little project known as the Tyrant. Okay, it's late 1988, and I think it's about time we catch up with our good pal James Marcus, who's slowly been going off the rails with his own brand of the T-virus research. As an independent researcher, Marcus makes headway by continuing to experiment with leeches, and in some extreme cases, his own staff. And he eventually creates his magnum opus, the Queen Leech. His old mate Oswell Spencer is having none of this though, and seeks to regain control of the T-virus research by assassinating Marcus and stealing his work. He sends in a team of Umbrella soldiers alongside Wesker and Birkin, and they shoot and kill Marcus before dumping his body and his precious Queen Leech at a nearby sewerage treatment. I wonder if they'll crop back up in this story. Spoilers, they do. The 90s sees Umbrella expand their operations across the Arclay Mountains and into neighbouring Raccoon City, with Birkin making significant progress with his research creating the superior G-virus in the process. Spencer commissions a gigantic underground lab to be built underneath the city, a job that he covers up by bribing Raccoon City Police Chief Brian Irons. Fast forward to 1996 and the Raccoon City Police Department instigate the inaugural special Tactics and Rescue Services Unit, or STARS for short. You are a pesky animal. Although it's under the jurisdiction of the RPD, it remains a privately funded independent venture, namely so Umbrella can keep their fingers in the pie. Disgusting. During this time, Albert Wesker is assigned to STARS by Umbrella, and he quickly becomes the captain of the squad's Alpha team. Right, we have finally reached the most pivotal year in the entire Resident Evil timeline, 1998, a year in which a whopping 5 games in the franchise take place. In May 1998, there is a catastrophic outbreak of the T-virus at the Spencer Mansion Labs, and a handful of Cerberus, zombie dogs to you and me, escape into the Arclay Mountains and start killing unfortunate hikers. In an attempt to contain the outbreak, Umbrella locks down the Mansion Lab and the T-virus begins to spread among the poor staff still there. Naturally, with the horrific nature of the Arclay killings, the stories emerging inspire a media firestorm, and the press start putting pressure on the RPD to get the situation under control. Chief Irons dispatches the STARS, Alpha and Bravo teams to investigate the surrounding mountains, with Wesker overseeing the missions. Unbeknownst to the rest of his teams though, Wesker's directive from Umbrella HQ is instead to gain critical information about the site's BOWs and destroy the mansion before it is discovered. Alongside that, he is ordered to gather information about the BOW's combat ability, specifically in their interactions with the incoming STARS teams. And so we finally reach the very first game in the Resident Evil timeline, which details the STARS Bravo team's failed mission. The Bravo team make their way out to the Arklay Mountains only for their helicopter to crash en route, courtesy of a little bit of sabotage from our good mate Wesker. Instead of making for the Spencer Mansion, as per their original plan, the team stumble onto the wreck of a military convoy with all the soldiers very much dead. They discovered that the troop had been escorting accused murderer Billy Cohen, and putting 2 and 2 together and making 5, assume Billy is the lad responsible for all the brutal killings. They split up, and rookie STARS member Rebecca Chambers quickly discovers an abandoned train, the Ecliptic Express.
Now remember that I said that James Marcus and his Queen Leech would make a comeback into this story? Well, boy, what a comeback it is.
It turns out that when Umbrella dumped Marcus and his leech in that sewerage facility, the leech slowly ate away at Marcus's body and mind, effectively absorbing his personality. The end result was a reincarnated Marcus-Leech hybrid thing, hell-bent on revenge with Umbrella.
This franchise is totally bonkers, but I absolutely love it.
With Marcus back from the dead, he goes to town on the poor inhabitants of the train, and by the time Rebecca Chambers stumbles onto the train, they are all dead. Or undead, I guess, having been consumed by Marcus's army of leeches. Rebecca boards the train, encounters death row inmate Billy Cohen, and they start to investigate the express, keen to get the train back on its journey. Wesker and Birkin send in a team of Umbrella soldiers who succeed in getting the train underway, but promptly get chomped by the leeches. Rebecca and Billy manage to bring the train to a stop, albeit a messy one, and emerge from the wreckage at the Umbrella training facility. Marcus, or the hybrid leech thing, reveals himself to Wesker and Birkin, and this leads the duo to activate the facility's self-destruct function. Caught in the middle of all of this are poor Rebecca and Billy, who navigate their way out of the facility, kill the Queen Leech, and get to safety before the place blows sky high. As they overlook the destruction, Rebecca allows the actually innocent Billy to go free, and she leaves him to go and help Alpha Team at a familiar looking mansion. The game then ends with Billy giving the cheesiest thumbs up I've ever seen. Okay, we are now with the OG Resident Evil, which details the exploits of Alpha Team in their mission to investigate the Arklay killings. Headed up by Wesker, the STARS squad includes expert marksman Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, the master of unlocking, top explosives lad Barry Burton, and helicopter pilot Brad Vickers. The team successfully land near the mansion, but are quickly caught off guard by a pack of zombie dogs, which forces them into the Spencer Mansion. Separated, they each make their way through the illogical maze of corridors, encountering and surviving the zombified Umbrella staff, BOWs, and various other mutations. Meanwhile, Wesker is pulling the strings behind the scenes. He strong-arms Barry into helping him set traps for the rest of the STARS team by threatening to kill his family. Chris and Jill survive everything and anything that's thrown at them: sharks, snakes, spiders, bad dialogue, and they meet up with Rebecca Chambers on their way to getting out of the mansion. Wesker is finally revealed to be a traitor to Alpha Team, and as a result he releases Umbrella's Tyrant Project, a huge mutated man-mountain, in a bid to kill the remaining STARS members. Chris, Jill and Rebecca fight off the Tyrant, and thanks to the impeccable timing of Vickers' return with the helicopter, they all escape as the Spencer Mansion self-destructs. There's definitely a pattern emerging here, right? Amidst the chaos, Wesker manages to survive as well, albeit without the critical BOW samples he intended to gather, and he leaves Umbrella for good.
Shop your new mattress your way at Ashley. Browse our wide selection online from the comfort of your home, or come in and see what feels good at one of our conveniently located stores. Shop Ashley in-store or online today.
my own, it don't get better. I'm a bestseller.
Get it, girl.
Okay, a couple of months have passed and we catch up with Jill Valentine during the events of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Under pressure from Umbrella, STARS has been disbanded, and nobody believes the team about what they saw in the Arklay Mountains.
The T-Virus has very much arrived in downtown Raccoon City, having spread from that gigantic underground lab that somehow remains secret. With the zombie population on the rise, there is chaos in the streets and the RPD is quickly overwhelmed. Umbrella, in a series of questionable decisions, starts deploying BOWs all across Raccoon City. Chief among them is the dapper Mr. X and the titular foe of Resi 3, Nemesis. Nemesis is given the mission of hunting down former STARS members, and keeping this momentum going, he begins his unrelenting chase of Jill Valentine. Across town, the Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service, God that's a mouthful, arrive and start evacuating anyone who's not a zombie. In her attempts to escape, Jill runs into UBCS team member Carlos Oliveira, and the pair take the fight to Nemesis while trying to escape the ruins of the city. During their fight, Jill becomes infected with the T-Virus, leaving poor Carlos to fend for himself and find a cure for Jill.
Will she survive? We'll have to wait until later, because we've got a date with a blonde hunk. Taking place concurrently with Resident Evil 3 is the campaign to Resident Evil 2, which sees new cop on the block Leon Kennedy and Chris Redfield's sister Claire appear for the first time in the franchise.
Leon arrives in Raccoon City for his first day on the job in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. After encountering Claire Redfield, who's searching for her brother Chris, at an out-of-town gas station, the pair make their way into the heart of the city before getting separated during a car accident. Leon eventually makes his way to the RPD, which is completely overrun with zombies. After navigating the station's bizarre lock and key setup, it is an old museum after all, Leon finds himself down in the cells where he runs into the mysterious Ada Wong. Ada's mission is to swipe a vial of the G-Virus, and Leon agrees to go along with it, the naive heartthrob. As they're investigating, the pair are attacked by Mr. X, and they escape into the sewers where they encounter Annette Birkin, wife of Umbrella scientist William. Annette injures Ada and informs Leon that he's working with a mercenary who wants to sell the virus on the black market. Leon, the fool that he is, descends into Birkin's lab anyway, swipes the G-Virus and returns to Ada, who immediately holds him up at gunpoint for it. Annette pops up one last time, shoots Ada, and in the ensuing chaos, the G-Virus and Ada fall into the abyss. As Leon tries to escape the lab, Mr. X makes one last encore before being dispatched by a handy rocket launcher that is thrown to him by Ada, who has miraculously survived her fall. Meanwhile, Claire encounters a young girl, Sherry, daughter of William Birkin, and they manage to escape a giant creature by taking refuge in the RPD car park, where they meet morally bankrupt police chief Brian Irons. Brian kidnaps Sherry and locks her in a neighbouring abandoned orphanage. As Claire mounts a rescue mission, a tyrant drops in on Irons, infecting him with a parasite. Irons dies and Sherry flees, while Claire manages to escape into the sewers, only to bump into Sherry's mum, Annette, who reveals that the creature chasing her daughter is in fact her mutated father. Turns out our Will had plans to sell his G-Virus creation to the US military, a plan that didn't go down too well with Umbrella, who promptly sent in a team to kill him. To save himself, Birkin injected himself with the G-Virus, turning the good doctor into a repulsive monster. In the ensuing carnage, he destroyed a bunch of T-Virus stores, which led to the Raccoon City outbreak. When Claire and Annette find Sherry, they discover that she's already been infected by her father, and the pair hatch a plan to find a cure from within Birkin's labs. Claire succeeds in finding an antidote, and in the chaos of getting back to cure Sherry, Annette is killed by her husband. Naturally, the whole facility enacts the now contractually obliged self-destruct function, and Claire and Sherry escape to an evacuation train, where they meet back up with Leon. Birkin has one more crack at killing them, fails, and is then caught in the fires of the exploding labs. Okay, let's wrap up that cliffhanger from earlier. Carlos, being the absolute lad that he is, scavenges a cure for Jill because by this stage they're just lying around the wastes of Raccoon City, and she recovers from her infection. The pair make their way through a series of underground Umbrella labs in an attempt to escape the city before it's nuked from the air. It's the only way to be sure. En route, they're ambushed by good old Nemesis one last time, and Jill fires the killing blow with the biggest of big f***ing guns. After defeating Nemesis and overpowering one of Carlos's corrupt squad mates, the pair ride off into the sunset and Raccoon City is reduced to ashes behind them.
Even superheroes can make bad decisions.
We're gonna drive, right, big guy?
Let's go.
Guys, wait for me! Hey!
Let's be flexible enough to call a safe and sober ride.
Make the real fantastic decision. Don't drink and drive.
Alright, 3 months have passed since the devastation in Raccoon City, and Claire Redfield is still searching for her brother Chris. Her search takes her to an Umbrella facility in Paris, where she is eventually caught in a sequence heavily riffing on John Woo. Umbrella locks her up in an isolated prison in the Southern Ocean known as Roquefort Island. And lo and behold, there is an outbreak of the T-virus on the island, and Claire soon gets set free. Soon after, she encounters the world's most irritating Canadian, a floppy-haired lad called Steve Burnside, and the pair team up to escape the island. In their way stands Alfred Ashford, one of the clones created by Umbrella co-founder Alexander Ashford, and, well, he's gone a bit insane. His time alone and apart from his twin sister Alexia has led him to cultivate a split personality, and he switches frequently between the identities of himself and Alexia. Claire and Steve soon break free from Roquefort Island, only for Alfred to divert their plane to the nearby Umbrella facility in Antarctica, using the system's autopilot override. Crash landing in Antarctica, the pair finally defeat Alfred, who uses his final spark of life to awaken his sister Alexia from her cryosleep. She's not the only Ashford in Antarctica though. Turns out Papa Alexander Ashford, the other Nosferatu, is still around and he's hungry for revenge. As Claire squares off against the hideous remains of Alexander, Alexia takes control of the situation and captures our heroic duo as they attempt to escape. Meanwhile, back on Roquefort Island, Chris has turned up searching for his sister. In his search of the island, he bumps into none other than Dr. Albert Wesker, who has gone rogue from Umbrella since the Spencer Mansion incident, and is there to retrieve a sample of the T. veronica virus. With their goals both in Antarctica, the pair separately make haste for the Umbrella base. Once there, Chris saves Claire, poor Steve becomes infected and dies, Alexia is finally defeated, and that sneaky bastard Wesker makes off with Steve's T. veronica virus-riddled body, all while Umbrella's Antarctica base, yep, you guessed it, self-destructs.
Next up on our timeline is the We Like Guns spin-off Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles, which largely regales the events of Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica. But it does have one story mission that is unique and takes our timeline a little bit further, and that's Operation Javier.
4 years after the disastrous events in Raccoon City, Leon Kennedy and Special Ops member Jack Krauser are dispatched to South America to apprehend cartel leader Javier Hidalgo, who has apparently infected his daughter Manuela with the Veronica virus. Leon and Krauser encounter and secure Manuela before proceeding to Hidalgo's complex. There, they defeat Javier, who has fused himself with the Veronica virus to become some kind of giant killer plant, and they escape with Manuela via helicopter. During the fight, Krauser's arm is wounded and becomes infected, and as a result, he's discharged from the US Army. This leads him down a darker path, as he contacts Resi Big Bad Albert Wesker to join his team.
Umbrella Chronicles is next in our timeline, and it largely retreads grounds from Resident Evil 0, 1 and 3. But it does have a unique story mission called Umbrella's End, and I'm guessing you can figure out what that entails.
The year is 2003. Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine are investigating Umbrella's last known stronghold, a facility in Russia which is developing a new bioweapon known as the Talos Project. Chris and Jill, being the experts that they are, infiltrate the facility and destroy the Talos. But wait, Who's that on the horizon? It's only bloody Wesker again, here to take his final revenge on Umbrella. Wesker flings his coat into the camera like an absolute nutter. It must be freezing out there, and he tears his way into the compound. He encounters Sergei Vladimir, a high-ranking Umbrella leader who has been working closely with Lord Spencer to keep Umbrella going in the wake of the Raccoon City outbreaks. Sergei is no match for Wesker though, who quickly dispatches him and steals Umbrella's deepest, darkest secrets, which he then makes public. As a result, Umbrella loses its long-standing legal battle with the US government, a dispute that's been going on since 1998, and Umbrella declares bankruptcy as a result. Nothing more exciting than court proceedings to bring an evil, monster-creating corporation to its knees, eh lads?
With Umbrella a thing of the past, Resident Evil 4 kicks off a new era for the franchise.
Resi 4 is a largely self-contained chapter in the franchise, taking the series away from its zombified roots. The year is 2004 and Leon Kennedy is dispatched to rescue the American president's daughter Ashley from a mysterious cult in deepest, darkest Spain. He arrives at a creepy rural farmstead populated by a group of hostile villagers who have pledged their allegiance to the cult of Los Illuminados. The villagers are effectively being controlled by a parasite known as Las Plagas, with the cult leader Osmond Sadler calling the shots. Leon, after surviving chainsaws, giants and a mutated salamander, finally tracks down Ashley to a nearby church, and the pair later escape to a castle which doesn't look menacing in the slightest. Jokes, it's under the control of creepy man-child Ramon Salazar, another of Sadler's henchmen. When Leon and Ashley get separated amidst the castle's deadly traps, Leon encounters an old acquaintance, the lady in the red dress, Ada Wong.
Long time no see.
Leon battles his way out of the castle, killing a mutated Salazar, and makes his way to find Ashley at an offshore island facility. Old acquaintances are like London buses, it seems, as Leon then bumps into his former Special Ops buddy Jack Krauser. Krauser then reveals that he and Ada are both working for Wesker to secure the Las Plagas parasite, and Leon, being the good egg boy that he is, defeats him. Leon then confronts Sadler himself, killing him atop the island's research facility with a good old-fashioned rocket launcher to the face, courtesy again of Ada. Ada then holds Leon up at gunpoint again, and she makes off with a sample of the Las Plagas virus. Meanwhile, Leon and Ashley escape the island self-destruct sequence on jet skis. Resident Evil 4, what game.
Reach your impossible, Lenovo Legion.
Resident Evil Revelations takes place smack bang between Resis 4 and 5, and introduces the Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance into the mix, or BSAA for fans of acronyms.
In the wake of a bioterrorism attack that destroys the city of Terra Grigia, BSAA agents Jill Valentine and Parker Luciani are dispatched to the last known location of their missing team members, Chris Redfield, who's now got massive arms, and Jessica Sherowat. The last known location turns out to be the Queen Zenobia cruiser, which is drifting in the Mediterranean Sea, seemingly abandoned. While there, Jill and Parker are ambushed by an organisation called Veltro, the folks responsible for the previous bioattacks, and they are imprisoned. The BSAA makes contact with Chris, why didn't they do that in the first place, and sends him and Jessica in to rescue Jill and Parker, and they make for the Zenobia. Chris and Jill eventually reunite because that's what everyone really wants, and foil a plot to contaminate the sea with a virus known as the T-Abyss. At some point, they're just going to run out of names for these viruses.
Right, time for something a little different. And by different, I mean mostly the same, but now it's a film.
The first of a trilogy of CG animated movies, Resident Evil Degeneration sees series stalwarts Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield foil another Raccoon City-like bioterrorism plot, but this time it's on a wider scale across the whole US. It kind of feels like you're watching a 90-minute long and unskippable cutscene, when all you want to do is explore a bit and shoot some zombies in the face. A year or so later, we get the mad conspiracy shenanigans of the Netflix series Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. After a civil war in the fictional nation of Penamstan, a war in which the US sent in a special operations unit known as the Mad Dogs, Leon and Claire come back together to untangle a potential cover-up alluding to the use of bioweapons. Long story short, there is a cover-up, within the White House no less, which Claire manages to, well, uncover, while the Blonde Curtains himself gallivants on a globe-trotting adventure to China and back to stop a Tyrant-esque super soldier, which he naturally does, because he's Leon S. Kennedy, and the S stands for Stop Using Bioweapons.
Fast forward about a year and our dream team Chris and Jill have finally tracked down the last remaining co-founding member of Umbrella, Lord Oswell E. Spencer.
Jill, the master of unlocking, uses a lockpick to break into Spencer's residence, and the duo make their way through the mansion until they encounter not Spencer, but Wesker. Having arrived ahead of them, Wesker brutally murders Spencer by just punching him right through the chest. It's just devastating. Wesker then squares off against Chris and Jill, and as the battle comes to its conclusion, Jill rugby tackles Wesker out of a window and they both plummet down a cliff. Did they survive? Of course they did. Wesker cryogenically freezes Jill in preparation for... Yeah, we're heading to Africa for Resident Evil 5, which takes place nearly 3 years later. The game follows Chris Redfield and BSAA partner Sheva Alomar as they investigate an outbreak on the Las Plagas parasite in an African town. Chris and Sheva stop an illegal arms deal and as a result stumble onto evidence that Jill is still alive. Driven to find his old partner, Chris continues the investigation and the pair find themselves in the cave that started this whole mad franchise off in the first place. Yeah, they rediscover the origins of the T-Virus, the stairway to the sunflower, and uncover a conspiracy involving the BSAA's parent company Tricell, who have been sneakily continuing on with Umbrella's research. Chris and Shiva eventually catch up to Jill Valentine, sporting a new blonde haircut, and wrestle her in order to remove a mind control device that is attached to her chest. To absolutely no one's surprise, Wesker reveals himself with another world-destroying plan. This time it's firing missiles containing a virus known as Ouroboros all around the world. Our trio chase Wesker down and eventually corner him in an active volcano. Because by this point, why the f*** not? Chris and Sheva take the fight to Wesker, and in Chris's case some poor, innocent, defenseless boulders that probably had friends and family that cared for them. And they eventually kill Wesker once and for all by firing, yep, you guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, it's the crowd favourite, Rezi's big bad killer, an RPG right into his smug face.
Next up on this timeline is Resident Evil Revelations 2, a game whose story was heavily inspired by Czech author Franz Kafka.
A fact that I literally just found out while writing this timeline. To make my job even more complicated, Revelations 2 takes place across two different timelines. The first sees Claire Redfield and Moira Burton, daughter of ginger legend Barry, being kidnapped and imprisoned on an island by a mysterious woman known as the Overseer. In a weird Kafka-esque experiment of sorts, the prisoners are fitted with bracelets that track their fear levels. Get too afraid and you turn into a monster. Ooh, symbolism. The second timeline, however, sees Barry arrive on the island in an attempt to rescue his daughter, a whopping 6 months later. The story then unfolds over 4 episodes, each of them named after a Kafka short story, and follows Claire and Moira's attempts to escape and Barry's rescue mission. Barry encounters a little girl known as Natalia, who reveals that the Overseer is in fact Alex Wesker. Contrary to popular belief, not a sister to Albert Wesker, but another child that has survived Umbrella's heinous Project Wesker.
2 Weskers? You gotta be s***ing me.
The quartet finally manage to escape the island, if you got the good ending that is, and defeat Alex with, oh boy, is that, yeah it is, it's back, the most classic of Resident Evil madman murdering weapons, the rocket launcher. before we get into the madness of Resident Evil 6, we've got another jaunt back into the CG film trilogy, with the middle entry Resident Evil Damnation. Damnation is a considerable improvement over its predecessor, and sees Leon S. Kennedy catapulted back into the story. This time around, Leon ventures to Eastern Europe to investigate rumours that BOWs are being used in a local civil war. Obviously, they are, and he spends the runtime trying to clean up the mess, with occasional help and hindrance from the lady in red herself, Ada Wong. Oh my god, where do I even start with Resident Evil 6? Playing like a greatest hits of the franchise, Resident Evil 6 features a bloated monster of a storyline, with not one, not two, not even bloody 3, but 4 different campaigns and 7 major characters. The story kicks off on Christmas Eve 2012 with Jake Muller, the son of the late Albert Wesker. Hang on, when did he get busy? Yeah, Wesker fucks. Being taken into custody by a grown-up Sherry Birkin, who is now a BSAA agent. Muller is the key to creating a vaccine to the new C virus, but Birkin's mission to extract him from the fictional country of Adonia is put on hold when they are hunted down by a new bioweapon called Ustanak, which is like Nemesis on steroids. To add insult to injury, during the attack they are abducted by an imposter calling herself Ada Wong. Meanwhile, BSAA agents Chris Redfield and Piers Nivans are in the same neighbourhood to keep the local infected population under control. They soon come under attack from a new organisation calling itself Neo Umbrella, supposedly led by Ada Wong, and their whole squad is wiped out by the C virus. Fast forward 6 months and the American president is about to air Umbrella's dirty laundry from the 1998 Raccoon City outbreaks. But there's another bioterrorism attack and the president is infected, forcing our old friend Leon Kennedy to kill him. Leon uncovers that the National Security Advisor Derek Simmons was behind the attack, and he tracks down Simmons to a Neo Umbrella lab in Langxiang, China, with his partner Helena Harper. Chris and Piers are then dispatched to Langxiang to hunt down Ada, and they come into contact with Leon and Helena, who inform them that the Ada that they are hunting is in fact a clone. Following their run-in with Chris, Leon and Helena finally confront and defeat a mutated Simmons. Leon then dispatches Chris and Piers to an oil rig to rescue Jake and Sherry and prevent another large-scale bioterrorism attack, this time courtesy of a bioweapon called Haos. This kitchen sink approach to storytelling all dovetails into a messy conclusion that sees Piers inject himself with the C virus to defeat Haos. Sherry and Jake then kill the behemoth Ustanak, and the real Ada destroys the lab where her clone was created. Whew, that was a lot. And I didn't even mention the fact that the logo looks like a giraffe being sucked off by a Unfortunately, the film trilogy closer Resident Evil Vendetta also throws everything in the kitchen sink into its overstuffed narrative too. Vendetta brings Chris and Leon back together again, but also throws Rebecca Chambers back into the mix. Yeah, remember her? Last time we saw her on the timeline was all the way back in the original Resi, like 20 or so minutes ago. Anyway, this trio of bioterrorism busting badasses get embroiled in yet another attempt to unleash a new virus on the unsuspecting citizens of the world. But this time it's a virus with a new name. The A virus, because, well, that letter wasn't yet taken. Long story short, the trio succeed, and along the way there's fan favourites all over the shop. A new tyrant, a launcher of the grenade variety, and of course, lots and lots of virus-riddled zombies.
Even superheroes can make bad decisions.
We're gonna drive, right, big guy?
Let's go!
Guys, wait for me! Hey!
Let's be flexible enough to call a safe and sober ride.
Make the real fantastic decision. Don't drink and drive.
Right, after the bonkers plots of the last couple of entries, it's time to take things back to basics with the swampland horror of Resident Evil 7. The year is 2014 and all hell is about to break loose for the Baker family. After encountering an abandoned tanker in the Louisiana bayou, Jack Baker finds a little girl and brings her back to the family home. All appears normal until the girl wakes up and causes the Bakers to go, well... Fast forward 3 years to the summer of 2017 for the main plot of Resident Evil 7, which sees poor Ethan Winters encounter the charming Baker family while he searches for his missing wife Mia. As Ethan endures the delightful hospitality of the Bakers,
welcome to the family, son.
He soon discovers that his wife and the family have been infected with a mold-like fungus that turns them super aggressive. He escapes the hellish residence with help from the Baker's daughter Zoe, defeating Jack and Margarita along the way. Ethan eventually discovers that his wife Mia was working as an operative for an organisation that developed the little girl known as Evelyn into a bioweapon. Evelyn escapes and, well, you know the rest of the story. Ethan finally encounters Evelyn face to giant face, eventually killing her before being rescued by none other than Boulder murderer Chris Redfield. The pair escape in a helicopter with Mia, if you chose to cure her, and they fly off into the sunrise. Wait, is that an Umbrella logo on the side of that helicopter? Well, sort of. In the wake of Umbrella's messy end, another company known as Blue Umbrella emerged from the ashes with the primary goal to clean up the mess of the original corporation. In the wake of the Baker residence outbreak, Chris Redfield assists Blue Umbrella in capturing Lucas, the last remaining Baker, before he reveals the secrets of Evelyn's infection to nefarious ne'er-do-wells.
Game over.
And so we reach the final destination of this madcap rollercoaster of a franchise, Resident Evil Village, or Resident Evil 8 Age, if you're being pedantic.
3.5 years have passed since the carnage of Resi 7, and Ethan and Mia Winters are living a relatively normal life with their newborn daughter Rose. That is until our pal Chris Redfield and his Hound Wolf squad storm the Winters residence and kidnap hapless Ethan and baby Rose. Ethan and his daughter are taken out of town, but before they can reach their destination, their truck is ambushed, the little nipper Rose is kidnapped by someone else, and Ethan is left for dead. Gosh, this lad just can't catch a break, can he? He awakens to this new nightmare and ventures into a nearby village to search for Rose. The village in question is like something out of a Universal monster movie, complete with actual werewolves roaming the street and a Dracula-alike countess lording over a giant spooky castle. After the former nearly eviscerates poor Ethan, he's imprisoned by the latter, a giant lady vampire known as Lady Dimitrescu. Having been tipped off by a mysterious merchant known simply as the Duke, Ethan discovers that Rosemary has been killed. Oh god. And her body parts scattered across the village in 4 different flasks. Damn, that's dark. The 4 different flasks have been entrusted to 4 different lords, or in a massive callback to the very beginning of this video, 4 of Mother Miranda's Cadu parasite experiments. One by one, Ethan systematically dispatches these monstrosities, starting with the aforementioned tall vampire Lady Dimitrescu, before offing puppet possessor Donna Beneviento, giant fishman Salvatore Moreau, and finally Magneto on steroids Carl Heisenberg. After dispatching Heisenberg, Ethan discovers that Chris is in the neighbourhood and he tracks him down to have a go at him for shooting his wife. Chris explains that the Mia he shot was actually Mother Miranda in disguise, and that she's pulling the strings on this whole damn puppet show. This surreal nightmare comes to a head when Ethan confronts Miranda only to die for his troubles. Don't worry, we haven't seen the back, or face either to be honest, of this lad just yet. Having witnessed Ethan's death, Chris assembles his Wolfhound squad, and they venture deep under the village where they discover the truth behind Mother Miranda,